imagine you're waking up on a Monday morning before school. It is so chilly out. You're like, I just want to go back to bed. You realize it's about time to go. I don't want to do this. And so many other schools are already at a 4-day school week. You're seeing all these posts about them. And that's why I agree that we should actually have a 4-day school week, because we actually help the students with getting more sleep. They can actually get their homework done like we actually supposed to, except staying up on a Sunday night when we're panicking about it. And we have a chart here that we actually have more teachers that have been hired by a 4-day school week, since they can actually get paid more now. And it's also easier for them to find schools that are like that, because basically some of these 5-week schools want hire people that have experience, while these 4-day schools are just looking for a teacher to have. And you can tell, we have some that have not hired that many with 3% and 4%, and overwhelming with 31, 35, and 26%. And that also shows that these teachers are actually being able to support their families through this job and actually have a future career in it. Because a lot of times they might also have kids in this that also don't really want to go to school on a Monday morning, or they'll have to fight with their little kids, which can usually cause more issues for people who have with our programs we have here in town that allow them to be dropped off before school and stuff, and after, it actually can cause more damages to the family, because sometimes these kids want to be around their family before the morning, because you may never know what's going to happen to the family on the way to school. There can always be a car accident or other accidents that happen to them. It can also affect the way they think. And that leads me into in her 2022 article of a 4-day school week, the district uses a 2-pronged approach to improve its hiring for high-tech schools for students and lots of personal development for staff. Lisa Fratt states that the school district has doubled the percentage of students and teachers in this school district. And for my next slide, we have the improvement of ACT, which to all of the students think it gets really stressful when it's getting really close to it and they have not studied yet. And with these 4-day school weeks, they will have time to actually study on a Monday, when they also don't have to worry about actually doing their schoolwork, which will help them out more. Along with these ACTs, like with the 2 to 5%, there are some improvements, but the 16% shows that there's a major increase in these scores from having basically gone from a low score to a very high. And the 73% shows that a lot of these students are actually having more time to study for this. And this also shows that these students are actually caring about their college future too, with actually studying for this. It will also help them be able to find a college that's actually right for them. Because with this, you can have better colleges applications. You also find better scholarships for you. You may even be able to find schools that can actually help you out even further in life. And that in a 2023 article from ACT says that 73% more people are willing to take the ACT if they have a 4-day school week, since they have time to study, and also find out what's more about the ACT since they can have a day of studying. And on this slide, it's all about how we have increased the students that have moved to a school district, with having an overwhelming 85% from some schools, and from 9 to 4 to 1% that actually have moved not that much. But these 4-day school weeks also show that these students will like these. It also helps them out in the future of the long run, because a lot of these students may not want to be in a district that only has 5-day school week, and they can have sports and other events that they have in their life to be busy from when they're probably kindergarten to high school. They can always be busy doing other things. Also on a Monday morning, and with the practices, sometimes you have to get up so early on Monday morning that it's I won't be here before school a couple hours. Sometimes it's just better, I may not want that. And it would probably be better if we could stay home and actually do stuff we need to get done. And on my next slide, it's showing the improvement of students with the grades, because with these, students can actually have achievements and be engagement throughout it. Some students may be chronically absent, but that can come from you can have family death, you can be sick, you can also have a doctor's appointment. Also, the rural schools have a lot of them have farming and stuff, so it makes sense for them to be absent and also have a math achievement since they can actually do stuff that requires it. And with non-rural, it also shows that they have been able to do more stuff than they have been able to do. So a lot of times in rural, you have all these traveling sports, you have big cities that actually, you get so busy in these, you will actually get caught up in life from these. And it also shows that a lot of times we have 11th grade and 10th grade and 12th grade and 9th. Those are basically our most important grades. Because if we're gone for one day, we can actually have missing assignments that can lead to a whole bunch more. This also shows that the students may actually be engaged to these schools now. They may actually like it. They may actually be able to understand it better because they actually have more time on their hands to do everything they want. Yeah.
All right, Riley. All right, Heather is up for his rebuttal.
About the time.
I do.
I'll keep you more back. Here's your slides. What?
Oh, yeah, you need this too. You want this or your note cards?
What?
Use your,
Oh, I do.
You're probably gonna want it.
I'll let your note cards.
Yeah. So, yeah, Big escape.
Real.
Drive.
Easy, easy.
All right, Hunter. I'm ready.
Alright.
This is just the rebuttal.
Alright, one thing that Jack stated was that students would get more sleep. I believe students in general might stay up on their own anyway, whether they have practice or not, because they're still gonna have practices later in that day or maybe even earlier. And they're still gonna either be scrolling on TikTok or whatever else. They're gonna be up late, either watching a movie or out with friends. They're still gonna use that day to do whatever else. And one thing he stated was that, one of the big things he stated was that people were moving more to these 4-day school weeks. I believe that that might be why the improved ACT was a big thing, because people would take it more on those free days. That's why you would see that increase in the ACT scores. And one thing he stated about the grades, the 10, 9, 11, and 12th grade, I believe that you would see more damage to the lower grades, like middle schoolers or elementary, like 1st, 2nd grade, in their scores, because they're not really gonna have much free time on those Mondays, because they're gonna have to be taken care of and might not have a chance to do educational things.
All right, great. Hey, Trent, can you see Bryce outside?
I think he went to the classroom across the hall.
I
Trent.
told him not to.
He's just sitting here waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like to come in the middle of people's speeches because it's distracting.
So I didn't. I just sat there talking slowly.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Very good. Not a problem. Way to go. All right, ready, Hunter?
I believe so. Alright. A 4-day school week is something that is being implemented into many schools. The question is should we implement a 4-day school week? I am here to tell you why we should not have a 4-day school week implemented into our school. As good as a 4-day school week may sound, there are many less than desirable consequences that may come if we implement this plan. Students may fail to keep up with the faster pace of learning that we'll have to use to make this 4-day plan work. Students may do worse in their subjects simply because of the lack of time that they may have. This is just to name a couple of negative effects that could happen with a 4-day school week if it is implemented. There are many other reasons as to why we should not have a 4-day school week. The first point I want to make is the slowdown in progress of students. According to Stephen Sawchuk's 2021 article, 4-day school weeks, new research examines the benefits and drawbacks, published by Editorial Projects in Education, states several years after adopting a 4-day plan, the researchers found those districts saw slower rates of student progress than similarly situated districts that retained a 5-day schedule. With this, they would see a decrease in students' learning time, as well as the 5-day school overshadowed 4-day, students' progress through school. There's also a slowdown in math and reading scores, as well as in social growth as well. They don't have much time to socialize with others. Second point I would like to make is a lower scores and achievements. According to Sarah Sparks' 2023 article, 4 Studies to Know on 4-Day School Weeks, published by Editorial Projects in Education, states nationwide researchers found significantly lower math and English language arts achievements at schools using 4-day weeks during the time period from 2009 to 2018 than schools using traditional schedules. This graph over here is grade 6 in Montana, experiment made by Montana. The red is a 5-day school week and the blue is a 4-day school week, and that's over time. These lower scores have significantly dropped due to the lack of time that they may have in their week to do things like our schedule. We have A day and B day, and we can either have 3 A days and 2 B days in a week, or 3 B days and 2 A days, and then that would get cut to 2 A days, 2 B days during the week. This would lead to less instructional time for students, so they wouldn't be able to have much instructions on how to do their work, and faster learning pace may negatively impact their scores. Lower scores may harm college chances as well. The third point I would like to make is parents may have problems with their kids on figuring out what to do with them on that extra day. They may not have money for child care. Parents may not be able to care for the children while at work, might not be able to find somebody to take care of them, or what else. On these Mondays, parents may have to spend extra money on food for their kids on this extra day, and leaving children alone may have bad effects on their mental health. This graph also shows the percentage of parents' concerns on subjects, that's a little blurry, but you see a lot more concern on these 4-day weeks. These are just to name a couple of reasons why we should not have a 4-day school week. These 3 main concepts highlight the main issues with the idea of a 4-day school week. Schools should keep the same 5-day school week because it has been proven it works quite well. And in the end, I think the negative impacts outweigh the positive impacts for a 4-day school week. Thank you.
Mason, what's the time?
Oh, 5:37.
Alright, Jack, you ready?
You want your notes, Jack, or no?
No.
Alright. Are you going back to your station?
Well, as Hunter said that parents may not have time for their kids anymore, a lot of times these works have actually implemented more daycares into these because they are actually caring about these kids and students a lot more, but they want them to have jobs. And also that with all the, with having teachers and stuff now in schools, it also shows that they will actually have ATC scores, even if it's not on a Monday, they can still have it on a Saturday or Sunday or Monday. It really depends on what time they have. And with also what Hunter said about with parents not being able to do this, have the money for it, all organizations will help parents out now. We have multiple here in town that will actually help parents out with giving them money to support one kid only if they need it, or we'll have clubs that actually helps the parents out now. With FA, they do certain events to actually raise money for parents, or they have these events that will actually help them out on these days where they need them that have no school. And it also has an effect on the increase they have to these schools, because maybe the 5-day school week may not work for some of the clubs we have now, and it also shows that parents will like some stuff that they do different with the 4-day school week. And it also helps them with being able to prepare their kids for everything they need, and we also won't have more time to do stuff that we need. Because if we only have 4 classes, only have 2 A days or B days in a week, we still have enough time for all the classes we need. And it's also time too, because teachers also don't, they will give out some stuff, but they also show you through notes that you have, or other ways that you can find the things online. They also can make videos. They can also show you stuff that you can stay after school or before school to come and learn, and we also have past so you can go to the teachers then.
Alright, 1 minute recess, and then, where you go?
This mic can text you a call.
Ready? What?
Kelly?
Oh, it's me.
Yep. Alright, roll. Alright, I believe Hunter is going first, and then Jack.
You want me to go right now?
I'm ready whenever you are. Alright, ready?
Alright, in my opinion, I believe that 4-day school weeks mean we're gonna have a shorter summer. In my opinion, summer is very valuable to students alone. Again, these lower grade students in middle school or elementary are still gonna have to be required to have something to do, and their parents might not be able to drop them off or might not be able to find something for them to do. And what's better than letting them get on a bus and go to school, especially in these rural areas. It's a lot easier for these people to let their kids go to school and be subjected to school.
Alright, Jack?
I think that we should have a 4-day school week because it can also make it easier on us students alone from doing our sports and practices, and also being able to have improved test scores from ACT to anywhere now. We can also have more time actually at home to do stuff we want, like from ag kids to do all the ag they have to do for chores, like take care of animals, or even go out before, and we actually have more time to hunt, like many hobbies we like. We actually have more time for that. That's why and if you're listening now to this, we probably should switch, because a lot of times, like near holidays, who would rather be at school than be at home? A lot of students would not want that to happen. They'd rather be at home, enjoying the time they basically have left as juniors and seniors, because before long, they're gonna be out of the house, and they're gonna be paying taxes, and it's gonna be worse for them, but they'd rather be at home enjoying life while they still can.
Alright. Hunter and Jack, please exit.